was a special day at Freeport High School this afternoon as the Pretzels celebrated one of their best athletes in recent memory as Diedrich Macon signed his commitment to the next level. The standout pass catcher is heading to McKendree University in Lebanon, Illinois to play wide receiver. Anyone who's caught a Freeport basketball or football game over the past 4 years could tell Macon was a problem in either sport he was playing. He was undecided for much of his senior year on whether he wanted to play football or basketball at the next level, but he ultimately decided on the gridiron and checked off 2 of his lifelong goals.
It's great, man. That's the biggest dream growing up, is just having, you don't want your mom to pay for college. That's the last thing you want to do. So just getting a full ride, it just makes everything so much easier. Just playing on Saturdays, that's my dream. You just want to play on Saturdays in the afternoon. And that's where I got my aspirations from. We're just going to play football. Let's do it. Got a full ride, and let's just rock out playing football.
To Macon on his big day, and can't wait to see the impact he makes with his next team.